Hello, how are you? Well, I am back. I was on vacation. I was celebrating my birthday with my mother in Germany. So now I'm back, and what am I going to talk about? In my German videos, I talked a lot about deception and interpretation. So people, yeah, we are being very much deceived today, and we should all know that. And I think we're deceived because we cannot distinguish between theory and facts, or interpretation and facts. I had this long discussion on my German channel about, is interpretation really necessary? For me, interpretation is the same as putting up a scientific theory. So, a scientific assumption. But any scientific assumption has to be proven. And we have a lot of unproven theories or assumptions in science. And people, we have even more in theology. My cat is falling down here. Come on, why you? And she's hanging there. She loves to just fall down. So, where was I? Assumptions and theories. Yeah. Then in theology, of course, we have these assumptions as well. They're called interpretations. They're not proven. Interpretations are not proven anything. They're assumptions. And that's why I'm always saying, people, we need to be on our guard. We have been really deceived long enough in every area of our life, whether it be science, religion, education, politics, doesn't matter. And we're going to have to wake up. I think this thing with these viruses is something that we have to really, really wake up, because of what happened during the pandemic. People were confused, and so they could be scared to death when there was really nothing to be worried about, because whatever they were scared of didn't even exist. I'm not saying a virus doesn't exist. No. But we need to do scientific studies to prove that they actually cause sickness. Everybody assumes, we all assume, oh yeah, they make sick. So let's kind of talk about this today, because I know the next pandemic is going to happen for sure. Or it may be just simply that our government, and I'm going to call the government because the government is causing these things, is going to push these mRNA vaccines on us, which are really not vaccines, but they are gene therapies. They don't tell us, but it's the truth. Please do your own research, of course. Find out about it yourself. Now, I understand in the mainstream media, whether you Google or Wikipedia, you don't find the truth. You only find mainstream truth. And in mainstream, they have their own mindset and understanding of what a virus is or what a virus really does. Okay? But it wasn't proven. In other words, we know what a virus is. It's the smallest part, not the smallest, but definitely a small part of a cell. A cell breaks into different pieces, okay, whatever cost it is. And so the DNA breaks into different pieces, and then we have what they call a virus. Small part, very small part of a cell. Now, at the time, of course, the cell breaks apart. It's dead. It doesn't multiply anymore. The multiplication of the pieces are because the cells fall to pieces. That's why it multiplies. It's not a living process where out of one you actually get two. That's not what it is. One breaks into different pieces. That's the only thing that happens. So it's not a living process, but it's a process of death, really. So now the question is, we know that. Okay, we know that. We can see that under a microscope. We can see these teeny little parts. Now, an electronic microscope is only pictures. We do not see how these parts move. We don't see movement. So we really don't know what causes the cell to break into different pieces. Maybe we don't see what breaks the cell into pieces. Nobody maybe even try to find out. I don't know. But that is what we want to really find out. Instead of assuming that a virus, a small little piece of the cell, is causing another cell to fall to pieces, okay, we need to find out and really prove what caused the cell, really what we call die. Many things can happen when a small cell dies, right? Sometimes the cells die naturally. It's just because of the regeneration process. I think it's called regeneration process. They die naturally. New cells are formed, old cells die. It's natural. But also we can have a process where poisons cause the cells to die. And in large amounts. Now, we need to check into these things. Now, I am not a scientist. I am not a virologist or whatever, biologist. But I know studies, and I know that people have done the research and shown us very clearly. And the German research, I looked at the German research, and of course there's also American scientists or doctors that do that research. And if I find some, I will put them in the comment section or in the description. That's in the description. And so we have no studies that show clearly that a virus, a small part of this cell, is poisonous, because that's what it is, to the other cells. We don't know that. Other things could cause these cells to break to pieces. Now, when they show, when they do the tests, whether these viruses, exist, they always mix it with chemicals. And so, of course, cells will die when you add chemicals, or you starve cells. They will die, and when they die, they fall to small pieces. So then they turn into what we call viruses. But what caused these viruses to come about? It was the poison. So anyways, I hope you understand that these things have to be proven. And why is it important for us to understand this? It's important because we believe lies that our government, and it is our government, and yes, you can say the people behind it, like pharma, or people that own pharma, they just want to do business and they want to sell their products, their medication, or whatever it is, their vaccines or whatever they are. And so they come up with these false assumptions or lies. And even our scientists or doctors, they fall into these deceptions. Of course, no normal people will fall into the deceptions, and so they can use people and deceive people. They can, get them to take these, even though they're not vaccines, but take these vaccines. Oh yeah, they're going to keep you healthy. Oh yeah, this virus causes blah, blah, blah. And so if you take this, then guess what? You're going to be immune. But really, many times we're not immune. That's why we have these outbreaks of, for instance, measles. Because even these people that got the measles shots, they're not immune. Oh, then they're saying, the measles shot only lasts so long, and then we have to, get the shot again. Yeah, all these things, people are very suspicious. And so we have to make sure that we know what the truth is. So we are not deceived. So we are not scared to death. So we are not bamboozled into doing something that we really shouldn't be doing because it's not healthy and it's really not, what should I say, biblical? But it's definitely not healthy Christian living. When we are scared and we cannot trust Jesus, that he will take care of our problems, then yes, we are deceived and we will get more and more deceived. And that deception will also then lead us to be deceived in other areas, like politics or theology. We open the door when we are deceived, our eyes are shut. We open the door to wolves in sheep's clothing. And then our theology gets corrupt as well. And yes, we're being misled. We're not living Christian lives anymore. We're not living in the truth. We're not living by faith. We're not living by believing, trusting in God or in Jesus. Because that's what faith is. Faith is trusting in Jesus. Faith is not trusting in science or even ChatGPT. Because that's something else now. We are actually replacing, okay, our authorities. So now, okay, we don't need to listen to, a doctor, a professor, whatever anymore. Now we can just ask ChatGPT or AI. AI is going to solve our problems because AI knows everything. And I'll guarantee you AI doesn't. AI does not know more than what these people feed in the computer. So if we're looking at Google right now, yes, it takes us longer to get all the information together, and the AI can do it a lot faster, sure, but the AI can only get the message or the information that's already in the cloud. So if Google has the wrong information, for instance, about viruses, and that's what we keep hearing, oh, the virus is this, the virus is that, the virus makes people sick. Because, of course, we know it, we see it. Yeah, look, corona or COVID, not corona, COVID made people sick. Well, how do we know it was COVID that made people sick? How do we know it was not something else? Oh, but we know because, look, we're looking at this virus. This is the one. We can find this virus in every person that is sick. But we can also find that virus in people that are not sick. And just because we find that virus in people that are sick, it doesn't mean that virus is the cause of it. So yeah, I understand this reasoning is hard because people are not used to thinking logically. They don't think logically through a problem. Why not? Because we have not learned it in school. We learn in school to memorize. That's what we've learned. To memorize and regurgitate. And those people that will be able to memorize and regurgitate, they will make it in life. And other people, you know what? They have a hard time. Fortunately, that's the way it is. Our culture is built on that. Those people that can regurgitate, they go up, they are the lawyers, they are the doctors, and that's all they can do is regurgitate. They cannot logically think, well, I'm not taking that as a general thing, but in general, they can't do that. It's a different thing. They just go by what they were told. And that's the same with lawyers, and it's the same with doctors, and it's really the same with everybody up there on the whatever hierarchy. People in authority. Look at the people who are the professors. What do they know? Things they regurgitate. Can they actually think on their own? Or are they also deceived? And we've seen it again in the pandemic, how many people were really deceived. Okay? Yeah, maybe they changed their mind eventually and got it. Oh yeah, wait a minute, we were deceived here. But initially, even these smart brains were deceived. They went along. They put the masks on. oh yeah, the masks are they're going to protect us. I still see people running around with masks. Okay? My videos were banned because I talked about masks. And are they really effective? Again, see, right there. Are they effective? Do we have the proof? Do we have the real scientific proof? And if we do, are we just going to throw it out? But yeah, people, we need to have proof for everything, including theology. No interpretation is wrong. It's wrong. It's a good start. Interpretation is a good start. Okay, we're assuming this. But if you're not going to prove it, throw it out. If you cannot prove it, throw it out. That's all I can tell you. So yeah, I'm back. Let me know if there's something that you want me to research or find out, or you're still unsure. I'm very, very thankful for all the people that are watching my videos. I really was hoping that we could maybe establish a community where people can discuss things and maybe add study that they did, but I guess it just didn't happen. Hasn't happened yet. Probably will never happen. But I still will continue to make my videos, people. Yeah, let me know what you think about interpretation. Is it really something that we need, and in what way? And also, you know what? This thing about proving something, really proving something using the scientific method. I know lots of people, they say, oh, science, they're wrong. Yeah, no, the scientific method is not wrong. The scientific method is supposed to be leading towards proving something. And that's not wrong. Now, again, when we have people that don't prove something and they, call it like facts and they are just assumptions, theories, then yeah, we've got a different story. But everything needs to be proven, and that's what this video is actually about. Anyways, I'm coming to an end. Let me know how you're doing. And hey, let the Holy Spirit guide you. Because the Holy Spirit is the only thing, really, that can open our eyes and show us what the truth is and show us what lies are.